Alright, my audio levels are good. I probably should have been. No, I was paying attention.
Hello, 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 hello there.
Hello! Alright, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Couch. Still need to go change the name on the YouTube channel. Today is your latest status report. It is September 20th at 4:29. I know I said 4:30, but I started 15 seconds before 4:30. Because, before I forget, this is the detail that I forgot to mention. In terms of language, PG-13. We get one F-bomb.
Okay, I'll drop it
because
wisely.
this is the behind the scenes channel, not the gaming channel. We're fully
I can
others.
do that. I can hang.
We can do that. Alrighty.
Are we live?
So you're live.
Oh, hey.
We're officially live. This is my cousin Dominic. He's the one that got me into Pokemon.
What's
Do you have the chat pulled
up?
up? You have the chat pulled up so that way you can see when
I
people
do
say
not.
hello to you.
Hold on, let me
How
make
Ace
sure.
is saying hello to you right now.
I can only see. How do I do both chat? I can just see you. I can see me. Seems kind of
Yeah.
limited on my. Wait.
Well, that's because you're right.
I do. I
Oh.
do see it. I do see it.
Perfect.
If I go here. Do. I'm in announcements. Is there, or is it living room, Pokemon chat?
No, you would have to pull up like the YouTube stream. Like, do you have your phone on you to like? pull it up and
Yeah.
play
Let
next
me grab my phone really fast. We're streaming to YouTube too.
Yeah, well, we are streaming to YouTube. Period.
Oh, cool. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello,
We're just
YouTube.
I'm using this to capture us to have the conversation and then stream it
Hello.
on. Okay. So, where are we at? All right. So I have great news. After working on the same scene for 2 months, the first shot of it is done. Or almost. It's very, very close. The rotoscoping aspect is done. The part I have been complaining about this entire time that birthed this podcast in the first place is done. So the idea of turning it more into a podcast where we live stream it and I bring people in instead of what it was, where I would just talk to the camera and be like, this is where we're at today. This is the goal for this week. It just became the same thing for like almost 3 videos in a row. And I was like, I need to change up the formula because I'm just saying the same thing over and over again. So we changed it
At least
up.
you're consistent.
Yes, so that's fair. That is fair. I'm getting better at the consistency. So right now the trick is, so I made a boo-boo. What I did was when I put on the backpack, I have a netting on the bottom of it, and rotoscoping, that's going to be a pain in the ass. Oh, gosh darn it. Already screwing up my own rules.
You broke the rule!
I broke the rule. It's okay. They say it in Avengers movies. It's fine.
Yeah.
The problem. So what I did was, I couldn't figure it out this morning, but I'm on the right track. I cut out the whole net as a whole section, made it black and white. So I made it black and white, crushed it. So only the net is black. The rest of the background is white. I'm trying to figure out how to tell the computer, hey, use this as a frame of reference to cut a hole in the footage. So the only thing that should cut through is the net. And I don't have to hand rotoscope it. It just doesn't.
Nice.
Haven't figured it out yet, but I am trying to, so hopefully I'll figure that out by the end of next week, and then I can get started on animating. Actually, not even animating. I have to rotoscope the next shot. But it's a much shorter shot. It's a wildly different shot. Should be able to bust through it, no problem. I already did some of it, because I was like, I've been working on this one shot for too long, I need to work on something else. And then right back into animating, and it is Tyranitar. It's the Tyranitar scene.
Oh.
So, yeah, and I'm kind of excited, because what I did was, the way we shot it was, I made a PVC pipe cube, and I put it where the Tyranitar is supposed to be standing. So, when it's all camera shaking, I'm running, it's a whole stunt. And so, which is why I have to rotoscope myself out. I could have done it better. I've learned my lesson. Make sure there's a green screen behind me when I do these things. as if it wasn't already a massive green screen. But I'm going to take a CG cube, line it, scale it up to the same size as in real life in the computer, and then hand animate the camera and match the cube to the CG cube to the PVC cube. So hopefully, what'll happen is the CG camera will be motion matching to my real life footage, and then I'll erase the PVC cube and put Tyranitar there, and it looks like I'm running away from a Tyranitar that's about to wreck my butthole. So that'll be fun. Can't wait for that. The other thing is next weekend there won't be a status report because I will be in Kerman. I will be at a cosplay event. So part of the next week and this last week has been repairing my clone trooper. So he will be ready to go. He'll be on display at the convention. I added to my Ghostbuster. I weathered the proton pack. I'll be bringing that. Because I'll be talking about 3D printing. So I'll have that. I'll have my Mando costume or pieces of it on display as well. And we'll be talking about that. So if anybody is in Kerman or in the Fresno area around there, the event is called... Had it pulled up and ready to go. Got the email. You open straight to the email because that was the last thing that I was looking at. It is called Kerman Cosplay Quest 2025. So that'll be next Saturday. I have the flyer here at the Kerman Community Center from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So I'll be dressed as my Ghostbuster, showing off the proton pack and showing how you can use 3D prints to enhance existing costumes, as well as what a whole 3D printed costume looks like. My buddy Robbie will be coming down as well. He'll be talking about how to implement soft parts with the 3D printing, because that's what he does. He does the soft parts, I do the hard parts, and then we make a Mandalorian baby. And so that'll be
making babies.
What we'll have over there. And yeah, so it's mainly going to be a shift towards working on the costumes, but the working at basically what I came down to, Dom, was a couple weeks ago, I was like getting frustrated because my work won't work me 40 hours a week, and I'm like, hey, I want to work full time, please do that. So something just clicked where I was like, well, if they're not going to work me full time, I'll work myself full time. So I've been getting up super early in the morning, trying to get to my computer by 6 a.m. and start working on stuff. So this last week has been working on the VFX for an hour, and then hopping into the shed and working on the clone. So hopefully I'll have him ready to go and trooping as a clone trooper for a little bit next Saturday. Yeah, so that's the goal, is to get the clone trooper done and get that shot finished, because the Ultra Ball animation's pretty sick. I can't wait for you to see the Tyranitar shot.
No, it sounds really cool. I'm excited. I like that you picked Tyranitar. That's a good one.
Well, he was supposed to be in the first one, in the first Totodile Hunter, but we didn't have time to shoot it.
Ah, I see.
And so that one got recycled. The Gengar scene, which is the very first scene in the piece, that got recycled. And I'm really proud of that one because I went and watched Detective Pikachu as reference. I went and rewatched it. Such a good movie. We need a sequel.
I hope we get one. I mean,
Dude,
it did really well. It did pretty well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. Actually, you and me went and saw that. We saw that at the Teleri Galaxy.
I'm pretty sure we did.
That was so much fun. And then on the way there, we got trapped behind a garbage truck that smelled terrible. And then we had to, scoot over and past it. I remember that.
I lied. I had farted, and I just blamed it on the garbage truck.
Ah, damn you. But yeah, so that's the goal on my end for this week. Dom, what projects do you got cooking up? What project are you working on, and then what is your goals on that project for the next week?
Currently, it's been more of a musical project. I've started jamming with some old friends. For a minute back in August, I was kind of in two bands, kind of working it out, trying to figure out what we were going to end up doing. And I'm partially still in one of the bands. I'm not really sure. I haven't heard much from them, but because the gears kind of shifted, so they're trying to figure out whether or not we were going to start doing live shows or we were just going to stick to writing. But then I started doing stuff with my other friends from a prior project, and so we kind of got two going right now. We're going under the name Third Gear right now. It's actually it's a One Piece reference, but everybody kind of agreed on that. So we've been jamming for the last like month and a half, 2 months, and things are sounding pretty good. But we're trying to build a set, get like good 20 to 30 minutes together, and then we want to start doing shows around Visalia, Fresno, maybe even like SLO, like San Luis area, just to start stretching our legs and doing the damn thing. Is that one legal?
Yes,
Can I
damn
say
is legal.
Okay.
I'm on the
Cool.
firm court, and this is just a personal thing. I think damn is not a bad word.
I say it in like Harry Potter or something like that. So
Yeah, well, it's like well, it was a fun story because I think the way it was explained to me, I think my mom's favorite word was damn for a while. And 5-year-old me picked it up, and I said it at school and got in trouble. That's when they were like, we need to think about what we're saying.
it teeters on the line.
I was also nonverbal for a long time, so it was like they didn't have to worry about me repeating words for a while. And so then it's like,
Like,
he is learning these words.
He's got some few choice words for you.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. Aside from working, trying to organize my Pokemon collection because it is getting vast, and I need to condense or figure out what's important to keep. Everything's piling up, and almost to the point where you forget you have certain things. You're like, holy crap! I got this Pokemon like stuffed animal hiding in my closet, still in a wrapper, or like
It's funny. I found my box that has my Pikachu Build-A-Bear that I built with my niece. Cause
that's pretty rare, man.
No. I built a Pichu with my niece. I made the Pikachu with Emery because his name is Emperor Palpichu because I put him in a Kylo Ren costume.
That's amazing.
And yeah, and Emery, I think she picked Eevee and named it Satan. I don't remember, but it was funny because she had to type that into the birth certificate on the computer, and then it was like posted somewhere for a second, and like a bunch of people saw it, and it was just like, "Oh, you just did that, Satan." Oh, which is hilarious because that's what every time I catch Jigglypuff, I name it that. Have you seen the pastor rant on YouTube from what like Pokemon
No, I haven't.
There was a whole guy, and it was televised on TV. And he was talking about how Pokemon are demons and they give the children superpowers and da da da. And that's where the whole reason why like the Christian community didn't like Pokemon for a long time was because of that guy. And when you go and watch it, it is the most funniest thing because he goes, "Wow," and it's like it's just over and over again.
I thought you were about to drop the fattest F-bomb ever right there. I was like, you said
that all the time. Yeah. No. Yep. Like I said, it's PG-13. Like, we get one.
Funniest.
So, but what were we talking about? No, but anyway, I found my Shellos plushie that I had for a long time. A Tepig, I think Emery got me, and then I think there was.
Did you get a plushie when we were in Japan? I know you got like the play mats.
I did. I got and I actually just got my box back from my mom, like last Wednesday, and it was a Shieldon. I got Shieldon. But I also got that pilot Pikachu from when we were leaving the airport.
That's a good one.
And then I got the conductor Pikachu, the train conductor, because I'm like
from the Tokyo Station one.
The autistic guy can't go to the Pokemon center in the train station and not get the conductor Pikachu.
The train, that checks out, actually.
Yes, I was like, I have to have it. Dude, the first thing I did when we got back from Japan, I opened up Minecraft and I literally rebuilt the train station that was across from the hotel, and I got the minecarts to work. I just couldn't get the minecarts to go faster, but I did build the train station, and there's a villager station there that checks you in as you go in. You go up the stairs. I recreated the guidelines with the yellow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I literally was like, I'm going to do this. And then I have with purple terracotta, it has arrows pointing on the texture of the block. So depending on what angle you place the block, the arrow will point in a direction. So I have arrows on the floor pointing you in the proper way that you're supposed to do it while you're in Japan.
We got to go back someday, man. That was so much fun.
We were talking about it last night. All of my friends in the group were like, we all want to go to Japan. So I told them about the Pokemon Journey trip I want to go. But I told them, I'm like, for the first week, I want to go back to where we were because I want to show them all the stuff that we found, especially the art aquarium. The art aquarium and the rose garden. I want to go back to the rose garden when it's in bloom.
Yes. We were a little early, yeah.
Yeah. And it was funny to see the ladies face like, are you sure you want to come in here? It's like, yes! Like, we want to come in. We want to see this place.
I walked all the way here. I'm doing it.
Yeah. No, but sure, yeah, and it's like, and then I've shown so many people, like, the images that we took at the cemetery. The one with you on the street. I'm like, I take really good profile pictures.
Yeah, one of my best pictures is still with you, like, turned around with your camera. Like, I was just like, one of the best pictures I got is of Luke. I hope you have that one.
I don't. You guys haven't uploaded anything to the album yet.
You're right, honestly. I probably should so I could get it off my phone.
I need you to because, like, my mom has, like, 3 pictures of me from that trip, and that's it.
I know, because you were the one taking a lot of. You were behind the camera for the most part.
I was, and then luckily Sky got the one on the beach. I had him take the silhouette one with me at the aquarium. I'm like, dude, I need you to aura farm me for just a second. I'm like, and then he got a really good one of me on the dewback. I just wish I wasn't so tired because you could see like the red vein in my eye from how tired I was. And I was just like, oh, I look so like dead. And it was just, but I mean, to be fair, I had to train you, my young Padawan.
Yes.
So that was probably a normal look for me. Yep. So, yes, I want to go back there. How many Pokemon centers did you hit up when we went?
Technically 6. I think I hit almost every one that we could go to in Central Japan. I don't know if the airport one counts as a Pokemon center. It's like a Pokemon store, but I count it. So 6.
I would say it does because if you count the train station one, because it's built like the exact same way, I would argue.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. And they had the exclusive plushes, those were awesome, man.
One of the things that I was talking to them about was that when we go on this trip, we'll go to a Pokemon Center before we hit up the Sinnoh region, and then everyone picks out a Pokemon plush that we'll put on our shoulders as we travel around that area. I want to see villages. I want to see it was a lot of fun when we walked around the suburbs that were near the hotel because they had all the parks. Those kids were hilarious.
Oh yeah, shaking the bridge. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, no, when they were waving at us, that was hilarious. I was ready for one of them to like come up and tag me and play tag. I was like, I'm ready to like haul some ass right now. Darn it!
I remember getting on their zip line and just being like, I don't care that I'm 20 something. I'm getting on this playground right now.
I literally stopped a kid today walking into work. He was like riding around it. I'm like, those are still cool, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, that's awesome, and I realized I'm like, they're so cool. When I have kids, I'm buying a pair with them because I want Heelys. I remember how much fun those were.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, I had a pair.
So what have you heard of the new Pokemon stuff?
You're talking about Legends?
No, well, that, but more of the patents and the copyright and the legal battles that they're choosing to have.
I only heard a minimal amount. I heard something about a patent or copyright on, like, catching or releasing monsters or something like that.
So the patent, so the first thing that they did was they made a patent after Palworld had released of throwing a sphere to catch a creature, right? Which... I really don't understand how that got patented because on one hand, it's like you had 20-something years to go make that patent and you chose not to. Mm-hmm. And you waited until somebody did your job but better almost. But I wouldn't even say better because at the same time, it's such a different genre of game. Have you played Palworld?
No, I haven't checked it out yet, but some of my other Pokemon buddies they enjoy it.
Yeah, I will admit, I want to take another crack at it because I was playing with my other cousin and he had gotten there before me, so he already learned a bunch of stuff and had his whole camp set up, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, I don't even know how to make a stick. But I want to go back and try it because it was fun, and one of the things that I really love about it, and this is the other thing that they were trying to do, was Palworld, you could ride your pals.
Okay.
and it
They
was
did that for
yours.
like one Pokemon game.
Yeah, they did it with Let's Go Pikachu.
Oh, that's true.
They did it with
And I
Let's Go
remember there was
Pikachu.
like, wasn't it like Omega and Alpha that like you could ride Latios or Latios
Latios and
around?
Latios, and it was like a separate subsection. So it's like you
Yeah.
would use fly, and then you would fly over the Hoenn region, but it was its own level. It was not a smooth transition from I'm gonna fly over the overworld and land wherever I want, because you still had to land at the major cities. You couldn't land on any given
Wherever.
route,
Yeah.
right? And so Pal World, it's like
They were
not
onto
only was
something.
the world huge, but it's like, yeah, your pals were your pals, and if you wanted to ride them, certain ones were faster than others, and, you know, depending on how much you leveled it up, you could, you know, do that, but each Pokemon had its own, or Pal, I should say, not Pokemon, just for sake of argument.
Mhm.
It's really cool. It was one of my favorite features of Pal World, because I'm like, this is what I've always wanted in a Pokemon game. I hate the rental Pokemon system with the hidden moves.
Okay.
And so, so they patented the throwing a sphere, which, okay, fair. The sphere thing I get. In my game,
They're
it'll
just
be
gonna
cubes.
throw like a cube in other games. They're gonna be like, it's
Exactly.
the monster block.
Yeah, exactly. So then it's, yeah, the monster cube. The second thing that they tried doing, and I don't remember if I got approved or not, was the swapping between mounts in a smooth transition fashion, because I'd also like to point out that when Pokemon did it in Legends Arceus, it still wasn't smooth. You just kind of like
Quote unquote.
appeared on it, you know.
Mhm.
And again, with Legends Arceus, as cool as it was, I didn't get to ride my Gyarados. It had to be Basculegion. I couldn't ride my Rapidash. It had to be Weirdeer.
They
If I
only
wanted
coded
to
it
climb
for,
the cliff,
like,
it had to be
one
Sneasel. I couldn't use my own Sneasel. It was my own Sneasel.
Yeah.
Scared,
You
but
just had to imagine that it was your Sneasel.
right, you know, it's like even going back to the DS, you know, when you used Fly, your Pokemon appeared on the screen for a second before it was the shadow of the bird. And you took off on the shadow.
Yeah, that's true.
But it felt like it was your Pokemon, because you knew it was your Pokemon. And then when you go play like Brilliant Diamond, and it's like, oh, it's a Staraptor, and then, oh, it's a Bebarrel. But it's not my Bebarrel. It's not my Bebarrel that I named Jesus. It's whatever random Bebarrel that they gave me.
Yeah, like the service
All
Pokemon.
praise the Holy
just being
Bidoof.
real.
The Holy Bidoof,
Amen.
Lord Helix. Do you know the lore about Lord Helix? Do you know that?
No.
So a long time ago, I think I was in high school when this happened. There was a live stream on Twitch where if you entered a command, it would move the character on the game. So everyone was playing Red and Blue.
Mhm.
Somehow, some way, they were able to get Ammonite. They were able to get the fossil, progress far enough into the game, thousands of people in a live stream inputting commands, and because it's a computer, it's basically queuing the commands, right? And no one's talking to each other because everyone's inputting arrow, A, B, start, select. I don't know how many Pokemon got released by accident, but I'd love to find out. But somehow they got 7 badges, the Helix fossil, and revived it. So when you hear somebody say Lord Helix, that's what it's a reference to. But that's, yeah, a little Pokemon internet lore for you.
I love that. No, that's cool.
So we don't talk
That's
about Typhlosion.
crazy that they got 7 badges.
But the third newest patent that Nintendo, and it got granted, and that's the part everyone's upset about, is that this should never have been granted. Lawyers have come out and said this should not have been granted. I feel like what happened was whoever granted it doesn't play video games at all, which is why it got granted, is my theory.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the idea, the patent is they own the mechanic that says you can summon a creature and either manually tell it to fight and you take control of it and fight, or it will automatically with AI go and fight other things on its own. So like what they did in Scarlet and Violet, like you could summon your Pokemon and it would auto battle.
Yeah.
As well as the manual battling of the turn-based system that we know, where it's like, you know, fight, water gun. Squirtle used water gun. It missed. Charmander beat its butt.
Yeah.
A
little broad, yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of the part where it's like, now we're just waiting for somebody to come in and say, and pretty much not sue, but waiting for Nintendo to hit first to go, we're going to sue you for this, and then go, no, because I have an entire list of video games over the last 40 years that say otherwise, that have used that mechanic before you. You did not invent that, and then that should be denied immediately or revoked. And that's kind of what I'm
that's
on.
Actually pretty crazy. I haven't heard a whole lot about the patents and stuff, but they're getting pretty protective of the IP. My hope is that the competition kind of pushes Game Freak to work on the mechanics and the betterment of their games, because there's so much potential with where we've come in
Right. So
25,
I actually
almost
have
30
been
years.
doing research and finding other Pokemon-like games, and I've played some Pokemon fan games, but like this, but I have a whole wish list on Steam. So after this film, after Total Battle Hunter 2, I will be making a Pokemon video essay talking about what I would like in a Pokemon game. And so, because there's so many mechanics that they introduced that were super cool, and then either brought back but didn't really bring it back, or just completely dropped it. Like, that's kind of the thing that I'm a little frustrated. But like, so the two main things that I have played recently, I've played Poke Wilds. Have you ever heard of Poke Wilds?
No, never heard of that.
I think you would really, really like it because it's in the Pokemon Crystal graphics.
Yeah, I'm a big
and assets, right? And so it's like Minecraft, it's a procedurally generated game. It's top down. It literally looks like Pokemon Crystal. And they even go and have made custom sprites of newer Pokemon and have brought them into the game. There's the breeding mechanics. You can find eggs, and if you take the egg, the parent Pokemon will chase you down, and you have to try to run and get away with it. But like, you have to have a Pokemon. You have to have a grass type, because grass types can cut down trees. You have to have a fighting type to be able to build. Actually, when you start the game, you start with a Machop. That's your starter Pokemon by default. And so you use Machop to build your house, to build a campfire, to build your door, and then you catch a grass type to cut trees and grass, so you can start making fences and getting the building materials. You can catch a water Pokemon, and each Pokemon also drops its own stuff depending on the type. So like Psychics drop Psy Energy, Steel types drop Metal Coats, Rock types drop Hard Stones. All kinds of cool stuff. And then there's you can find fossils out in the wild. You have to have a ground type who can dig to get the fossils. So that's my goal, is to collect all the fossil Pokemon. That's literally my favorite mechanic from Diamond and Pearl, was going to the underground and digging up the fossils and bringing them back up.
Yeah, the underground. We had some good times on the DS underground.
Oh yeah,
setting
that was fun.
Traps, capturing flags.
When you lied to me and said that for every flag that you captured, it'd put a boulder back in my base.
I don't remember that. But that's
yeah,
funny.
You did that, and then you were telling me about when I was gonna go after Heatran. You're like, yeah, be careful in Mount Burn, because if your Pokemon faint in Mount Ember, they'll die. And I'm like, what?
Done
And,
forever.
I was like, are you kidding me? So I stocked up on so many full restores because of that. Yeah.
My favorite. I wonder if someone did go down. And you were like, no.
And then here I am playing Pokemon Nuzlocke.
Yeah, that's a Nuzlocke for you.
But I wanted to. What I'm gonna do is I have a list of games, because like I have like Backpack Hero, where top down RPG. The mechanic is you have a limited inventory, and every item takes up an amount of space, so you have to fit the items perfectly. So like a sword's gonna create a shape, and you're.
That's very Resident Evil. I think Resident Evil kind of does something like that.
Yeah, so it's like I want to play that and try that out. There's another one, I think it's called Cassette Beasts, and it literally looks like Pokemon.
Okay.
Let me pull it. I was pulling it up, and then I don't know. Pretty cool.
I can't believe that they're trying to keep a patent on summoning monsters, because there's got to be a ton of other games that do things like that.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, when it came to like the monster mount mechanic and the catching mechanic, it's like Monster Hunter is a main one. As of summoning, it's like we've had Yokai Watch, Yu-Gi-Oh, Bakugan, Chaotic. There's so
Digimon,
many. Yeah. Dinosaur King. That was mainly an anime,
Mhm.
but like, no, they did turn it into a video game. There was a tie-in video game.
Huh.
Speaking of tie-in video games, fun fact: this has nothing to do with Pokemon, but there is only one console that has a Percy Jackson video game. Can you guess what it is?
Game Boy Advance.
No, close. It is the Nintendo DS.
Oh wow.
They only made one tie-in video game for that movie, and it was for the Nintendo DS, not for the Wii, where you could swing a sword, because you would think that that's what they would go for.
Yeah.
Not the Xbox, not the PlayStation, the Nintendo DS.
Interesting.
Power World, there's... I have a lot of things on.
Well, even like Baldur's Gate, like you can summon monsters into
Baldur's
battle.
Gate was another one of like the first thing people thought of when they were like summoning.
Yeah, because it gets a
things,
churning combat, you know what I mean? And yeah,
And
that's
so a lot of people think it's the strategy of like, oh well, we'll just scare people into not treading into our territory at all, even though we probably will lose that legal battle. It's just we don't want people to even make an attempt. And so
and I
then
wonder
you have me
if,
who's like no.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the video, spoiler alert, the one that I want to make is that I was going to talk about 2 key points with Pokemon. I think it could be, number one, I think you could make the most perfect Pokemon video game, 110%. But I also think the other avenue for Pokemon, if they made actual books for this, a Pokemon TTRPG, or otherwise known as Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, totally. No, 100%. No, we were dabbling with trying to make it, and I know a couple people out there on the internet have come up with their own homebrew rules for it. But man, that'd be so much fun. Yeah,
there's a few live stream series that I found of people who have tried it and have talked about it, and some other DMs that have talked about like, if I was going to do it, I would keep in mind these mechanics, or I would change this stuff up. I think my biggest problem is that like I have a pretty good pipeline to converting the Pokemon games into D&D, how to get the moves translated, the Pokemon translated, abilities, stuff like that. But my big thing is like, what is my story gonna be? And so when I'm ready to do it, and that's kind of where I was gonna do voting feature in YouTube. Not a lot of people use it, but either I was going to use it or just go and read the comments and see how the video was received. And then determine, hey, am I going to go actually spend time and spend the next 6 months working on Pokemon D&D, at least getting a one-shot together, get some people together. I already have converted one of the episodes of Pokemon from the anime into a D&D campaign, or a D&D one-shot. Cool. Yeah, I have at least a flow chart of like, okay, this is what happens, and then, okay, the characters have, if they ask this, then we'll go this way, if not, this way, and then this will be the Pokemon that they run into. I also roll for shinies. I take my beautiful D100, and if I roll a 100, it's shiny.
Oh wow!
Yep. So I have the encounters written. I know exactly how many Pokemon you'll be fighting and how they respond, as well as I have pipelines for if you want to hunt for a certain Pokemon. So.
Oh, that's cool. No, yeah, a TTRPG would be so fun, just getting to kind of craft your own adventure, which is what I wish they did a little bit more of in the games. I know video games don't translate the tabletop realm as well, but gosh, as an RPG that's been around for, I think, nearly 30 years, you would think that maybe we would have something that built on the foundation they started in like 98, you know? Because like the first 2 generations, even the first 3 generations of Pokemon had things that you would kind of go off the beaten path to do that were like side quests, you know what I mean? Like you didn't have to do, but would totally benefit you. And just expanding on that, giving you more to do and like change your adventure, I think would be cool.
Like, I feel like that was my biggest gripe with Scarlet and Violet. They're like, here's our crazy open world that was like emptier than Hyrule Field and Ocarina of Time. But I also am like, I can't talk to any of the NPCs. You could not talk to them. You couldn't enter any buildings. It was all outside. Which, I mean, to be fair, you shouldn't be, randomly just entering somebody's home anyway. But
gotta knock first.
Yeah, but however, at least knock, in Animal Crossing, it at least has a knocking animation, and then they open the door. Sorry, teenage boys, you're screwed there. But the whole thing was like, there's nothing else to do. I was like, I beat the main story, and then there's no post-game, so then it's like, now I gotta spend $30 on a DLC if I want post-game. So in reality, I'm spending $90 for the full game. So, and when my wallet's already hurting, I'm like, no.
Well, and that's the thing is the old games, before really DLC was a thing, the post game was embedded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's like,
absolutely.
well, if you want the post game, you got to give us
Right.
another $30.
And I'm sorry, after playing Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I'm spoiled.
Yes, no, those are classics.
That was
I'm
like,
still waiting for a Johto. I mean, I know remakes are a little common now, but I would love a Johto remake. I want a something crystal like Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I don't know, that'd be cool.
I have definitely decided. Oh, you also have a really bad spending habit, Luke. This is true. You want to see my most recent spending habit? Not Pokemon related at all.
Now I'm scared. If it's not Pokemon, I can't justify it. Oh my goodness!
They're RC cars.
You have the Ghostbusters and the DeLorean as RC cars? That's actually pretty cool. You could race them.
But to be fair, I've talked about for years of doing a real life Rocket League video to put on the gaming channel, because that was one of my goals from 2018. Oh my god, we're in 2025. I am slow on the uptake. I want to do realistic games, like real world games, on the gaming channel. Like we did do the corn maze. We did a race with the corn maze. The loser had to buy everybody lunch, and that was a fun time. I love how that video was edited though, because it would cut to Brandon and Taylor who were like getting frustrated and were like getting mad at each other. They would arguing, and then you cut back to me and my girlfriend at the time, like humming the Halo theme and just like having a good time, just taking our time, strolling through. I had a lot of fun editing that one. I definitely recommend, if you go check out our gaming channel, Couch Party Inc., go watch it. It's that time of year anyway, which is when we shot it. I'm in a Spider-Man costume. Brandon's in a Spider-Man costume. The former girlfriend's in a Spider-Man costume. We had fun. Anywho, back to Pokemon. I do think it'd be a fun TTRPG, but I remember what I was gonna say now. I've decided, because I'm also not happy with just the gaming world in general, and I'm trying to figure out what to do for that on the gaming channel. But I think I had that thought existing in the back of my mind way sooner, because one of the things that I started doing last year was I made thumbnail templates that replicated the box art banners on old game consoles, right? So if I play Pokemon Emerald, I have a Game Boy Advance header, and the thumbnail now looks like the box art of back in the day. If I'm playing Xbox, cool. I have the original Xbox banner. So like right here. Favorite IPs that got me into. So like, you know how it says GameCube up here? I have a template for when we play GameCube games. So if you want to see my Sonic Adventure stream that I did a while ago, it's a screen cap of the game, and then I have the GameCube banner on it, so you know what console the video was recorded on, right?
That's cool.
I figured that was, and then it's like when you see, oh hey, that thumbnail is packaged like a game case, you know it's us. So there was that aspect of it too.
Yeah, brings back consistency. I like it.
Yes. So one of the things that we talked about was doing. I want to play older games, and one of the things that I realized when I was playing through, because I'm setting up for Coliseum. Setting up for Coliseum.
Man, it's weird that's an older game, because I remember. Yeah, man.
Yes. So this
time's going by.
This is the plan. You ready? So number one, I would like to do the Ribbon Master Challenge. Right, that's the one. That's my Avengers Endgame right now. That's super far in the future. Do you know what the Master Ribbon Challenge is?
I only know the ribbons from Hoenn.
Yeah. So what the ribbon challenge? So there are other ribbons you can collect throughout all of the game.
Oh,
and so the idea is you start from Generation 3, and then you have to collect all the ribbons from Gen 3, and then you go to Gen 4, and then collect all the ribbons there. You collect the ribbons from Gen 5, then Gen 6, and then Gen 7. And you keep going until you get the very last ribbon, which is the Master Ball ribbon, which you only get if you win a battle in the Master Ball rank in online ranked.
Oh, God.
You have to win one battle. And so what I decided to take upon myself, to kind of break it up a little bit. I'm not going to do it exactly as written. Gen 3, I have already selected my Pokemon. I know what Pokemon I want on the team. I have them in my PCs mostly. There's only one member left I have to go get. But there's 2 ribbons that are in Pokemon Coliseum. One of them is at Mount Battle. You have to win 100 consecutive battles at Mount Battle.
Oh my gosh,
get the ribbon. I believe it's called the National Ribbon. But... The second one is you get a ribbon for Pokemon that are purified. If you purify a Pokemon, it gets a special ribbon. In most runs, those ribbons are exempt because it is hard to get the Coliseum games, which I am very fortunate to have, and there's a fun story with that too. So yeah, Dom, I've got it right here. It's right. I got it right there for you. Yeah. So I can't wait for you to have fun with that.
You have Coliseum too?
It's gate. Yeah.
You have both?
Yeah. Talk about spending habits. But to be fair, they both were there once. I was waiting. I was like, I gotta save up my money. I can't do it right now. And then somebody bought them. And I said, next time, does not matter what the situation is, I will get them. And even then, I was still on the phone with you for an hour at GameStop, debating on whether or not I should do this.
Yes.
And then ultimately, we decided to do it. I completely missed that William was talking. There needs to be another Corn Maze video with more people. I agree. I've been wanting to do that for a while. That's been requested for a long time amongst the friends. I agree with William. Like a new game release... Every video, sorta. You should pick up a Beldum, great for battle and contest. All right, from Gen 3. So I won't say what the Pokemon are, but what I wanted to do for my team for the ribbon run is I wanted to pick a champion from each of the games, because technically you can get a Pokemon from 7 different games in Generation 3. Ruby, Sapphire, Fire Red, Leaf Green, Emerald, Coliseum, and Gale of Darkness.
Huh.
So I decided, since I'm going to have to go to Coliseum anyway, either one of the Coliseum games, to purify a Pokemon to get that ribbon, that'll be my 6th member. So I have one that's been caught in Fire Red, I have a Pokemon that's caught in Leaf Green, I have a Pokemon from Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, and then I'll go catch our fated boy or girl, don't know yet until we get there, in Pokemon Coliseum.
Nice. That's pretty cool. And this will be your first time playing Coliseum, right?
It will be, and I'm live streaming it. That is why they're still in the case.
That's awesome.
I have not opened them. I want to live stream all of it. If you want to be on call for that, I'll be more than happy to do that.
I'll join in sometimes because it'll be cool to watch you go through it for the first time.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a good time. And my goal, so the second part of that is what I was thinking with the YouTube channel. With the gaming channel, because there's also this itch that I have where I'm like when we went to Japan for Star Wars Celebration, shift gears second. I so badly want to recreate Revenge of the Sith with you because that just sounds like fun to me. And there's a lot of deleted scenes I wish were in the original movie. And it would be just something, and honestly, I think it'd be really funny if we had done that. We make it, not tell the rest of our family, right? We'll tell Sarah, because Sarah's going to play as Padme.
Sure.
And then we make the movie shot for shot with included deleted scenes, have fun with it, and then sit everybody down and be like, we're gonna have a Star Wars night on Star Wars Day. We're going to watch this. We're going to watch Revenge of the Sith. Everyone's thinking we're going to be watching Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor. Goes through the ship scenes, camera goes into the ship, goes to you, or, cuts to you. This is where the fun begins. And then they're like, what? But I'm like, if I'm going to put that much effort into something, I need the world to see it. And so my then thought was, well, I can't do that because that kind of goes into copyright.
Yes.
I thought maybe you and me could recreate at least the fight because there's a one. That's reasonable. New footage has been found over the years of previs of the stunt guys with Hayden, by the way, for some of the fight. So if you remember if this is a detail that you may have caught, I caught it and it was like, what the heck? And now I have my answer. When Obi is being pressed onto the table by Anakin. It cuts to his reaction, cuts back to Obi, cuts back to Anakin. They swap lightsabers.
Oh.
They swap hilts. And the reason for that is because there was part of that was shot that showed how they got there, but it was cut for time. With that said, I believe it still holds the record. Anakin versus Obi-Wan is the longest sword fight in cinema history.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I don't believe that record has been broken, but part of me is like, I want us to break that record because what I want to do with the Pokemon
for that. They're gonna try.
I want to do this with Pokemon Coliseum. I want to do it with X-Men Legends because it allows me to kind of mess with other people's IPs without necessarily infringing on the whole copyright thing.
Yeah.
I do the Let's Play of the video game. And then I summarize what happens, and then we reenact those scenes in costume in the green screen with completed effects. And now on the gaming channel, which is our most popular channel, we'll not only utilize my filmmaking stuff that I enjoy doing, but also allows me to play with the other IPs without necessarily like getting in trouble, because it's just me telling the story of what we did in a series of live streams. And so I have Revenge of the Sith for the original Xbox. For the Ribbon Master Challenge, I want to do that. So the Ribbon Master Challenge, it would be, okay, I'm going to live stream all of Gen 3 and the journey in the Hoenn region. And then there'll basically be a 30 to 45 minute movie of live action Pokemon of me in the Hoenn region with my Pokemon and all of the animations and the VFX and stuff. And then you get to watch a movie. And I think what'll be fun, especially when we get to because the champion ribbons are also a thing, right? You get a ribbon for beating the Pokemon League. I would love to do those scenes, and then I would love to come down with my green screen and like have everybody pretend that they're cheering or something, and then like have cutaways to like family and friends in the stands in a CG environment as if they're watching the battle happening in real time. I feel like that'd be really funny.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a live fact check. It looks like actually there's another film that has the longest fight. Do you see it in the chats? Billy.
Oh, yeah.
Billy
Williams
Steen.
got it. Okay. The longest unbroken sword fight in cinema history is widely considered to be the 77-minute single-take fight. 77 minutes in a single take? In the 2020 Japanese film Crazy
like
Samurai 400 vs. 1.
Over half a movie, yeah.
We have to watch that. That's going on my list because one of the other short films I want to do is I want to do a black and white lightsaber fight in samurai armor. I want to literally make an old samurai movie, but with lightsabers. And now we have to watch that as homework. We cannot not watch that. But that's what I was saying. That record was broken in 2020. Revenge of the Sith came out in 2005. So, for at least 15 years,
I don't
it
know
held
if
the
it's going to beat 77 minutes. Like I said, that's almost just a whole movie about a sword fight. Like
we're not going to break that, but darn it. Yeah. I guess that goal is thrown out the way. I'm not even going to attempt that. I would maybe
we can do it. The movie's called The Sword Fight.
If I did that, I would definitely find like a kendo instructor in town to be like, "Hey, listen, send me the emails to your 2 best pupils. And we'll have you on set to help with the stunt choreography. I'm just directing this one. You're doing that.
Dead or Alive, where like you get knocked off the map and you like fall through a house onto like the next map of the fight, and then it's.
Ace says to add it to our list. I have a Google spreadsheet that I made with Ace where there's 1 page for movies, 1 page of shows, and it has the list of it has the title of the movie, genre, animation or live action, and then who has seen it and who hasn't seen it, because that also helps. But what's fun is that because spreadsheets is numbered, if we ever like, what movie did we watch? Well, I'm like, let me just go spin the wheel real quick, or have Alexa pick a number between X, and then whatever lands on, boom, that's the movie we're watching. I'm currently getting her to watch the Clone Wars. I'm actually super stoked right now.
That's pretty good.
We're on Dooku Captured. I'm so excited. Because that's the episode that introduces Hondo, who is basically Jack Sparrow in Star Wars, and he's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I can see that.
But live action Pokemon definitely does well. I have a plan for Totodile 3. I have a basic idea. I can't really go into it too much on exactly why, but the a lot of the jokes are going to be that the network's going to be a little bit more on him now. Now that number 2 has come out, because he keeps putting his cameraman and a crew in jeopardy. Because Hunter wants to see dangerous Pokemon. He's like, these will rank in the views. Let's go find a Tyranitar. And then the cameraman's like, I don't feel like dying today. You know,
like, how's our insurance?
yeah, right. He's like, hey, listen, here's our insurance. Also, let's make sure they get the hazard pay, because I'm going to put them in hazardous situations. Have you ever picked a fight with a Seviper? That's not fun. Don't get bit by that thing. Have you seen those fangs? Those things are 3 feet long. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think
the Totodile Hunter movie that's going to be coming in 2035.
I definitely have decided, like, if I do this, because it is very much edited like ASDF movies, which makes it great for shorts, but as a new one comes out, there'll be Totodile Hunter, the complete movie, as its own video. So if you just want to watch them all in one sitting, it's like, that will be ready for you the week after the latest one goes up.
I like it. That's cool.
Totodile Hunter's going to be fun. What Pokemon do you want to see in Totodile Hunter the most?
First one on the top is like some kind of snake. I don't know if you've done like Arbok or Survivor.
I have not done snakes yet. I definitely want to take a crack at it, because my goal with this one is to make them look more realistic. So like I spent 3 to 4 hours figuring out how, because Tyranitar's body is actually like a rocky surface. So I had to figure out how to transfer the rock texture to the model, but keeping the green from the original texture.
What about a Sandy Gas, the one that, like, if you touch its shovel in the sand, it, like, possesses you? Like a very Blair Witch Project.
I have a Hypno one. My buddy was able to figure out, he was able to convince his friend to let his goddaughter be in the film, because there's a Hypno behind me.
Oh.
So while I'm talking, you'll see Hypno like hypnotize her, and then she falls onto an air mattress in real life, but that's gonna get erased. But she literally like falls backward. He pulls her by her feet and starts dragging her away. That was another one that was supposed to be in the original one, I think, that also got recycled.
You gotta save it. You gotta save it if it needs the time to marinate.
Ace says Zoroa, which I'm like, yeah, I could do for a cloning shot. That one would be an easy one.
Like, you think you're approaching something really easy, or really, like, and then it just transforms. You're like, oh my god, yeah.
Dude, no, you don't want to know what I thought I was going to be approaching that was super easy, that didn't get to happen and is now a deleted scene that I'll save for the third one? Eevee.
Oh.
Yeah, so part of the goal, because in the original one, I wanted to go to the location. I wanted to go on a camping trip with my buddies and go film the Torterra, Whirlipede, and Bellsprout. That's another one that was for the first one that's coming in the second one. I never throw out any of my ideas. They all just stays on paper. Nice. I wanted to go and shoot those out in the woods. I wanted to go get that real, because it was a test on, can I learn how to 3D animate characters, and can I make them be in the real world environment? But more so, can I animate the characters? And this one, it's like, okay, yes, I've proven I can do that. I've proven that I'm applying the concept of animation that I've learned from just watching YouTube and especially Corridor's animators react. But I was like, I need to make them look real, because that's also what ILM is looking for. I keep applying it to them. I get auto-denied every time, but that's okay.
Auto-denied is crazy.
I don't blame them. I blame whatever AI program that some corporate schmuck put in there, and it's like, we're just going to deny. And it's just like, no! You have a brilliant opportunity to have Dave Filoni train George Lucas. Because here's the parallel. You ready? So George Lucas trains Dave Filoni, could potentially train another George Lucas. Yoda teaches Luke. Luke then teaches Grogu, who is who's the same species as Yoda. It's like poetry. It rhymes. And I have the flannel. I can put that on and do the bit. It was funny because me and Demia, to talk about Star Wars a little bit more, when me and Demia were watching Light and Magic, which season 2 comes out later this month. I won't be able to watch it because I canceled my Disney Plus subscription, but all of you should definitely go watch it. It is a documentary about ILM, Industrial Light and Magic, which George Lucas had to create and found to do the effects of Star Wars because no one else could really do it at the time. It's all dudes from the 70s, right? Because it's like 75, 76, movie comes out in 77. Because it was supposed to be December of 76, but then it got pushed back. She's like, why do they all look like you? Because they all have long hair and beards.
It's a genre.
It's like,
nerd.
She's like, I feel like you were born to be over there. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Damn it. It's
an archetype.
Exactly. It's like I am the reincarnation. But
he's not dead yet.
But yeah, no. I'm his clone. Sorry, no, my web.
Your camera's doing its hardest work ever just to keep up with you. It's like, where'd you go?
It's so funny. Hey, camera. Ugh.
You look like you got
I don't have the controller open.
tased and you're falling out of your chair. He's using the force, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, it's like, hey, there's my hand. There we go. Okay.
Oh, hello.
And then slowly come back up.
It's like a little droid.
What was I saying? Yeah, no, I'm his clone. Because fun fact, that's how Palpatine returned. Rey is not actually his granddaughter. Rey is actually the daughter of his clone.
That's cheating.
So, exactly.
Cheating.
Only have known that if you read the novelization of The Rise of Skywalker, which I don't agree with, but oh well. I'm not the director of that movie. But I can learn from it and apply it to the next Star Wars movie that I'll be making. He's really struggling to use the Force. Well, yeah. So the fourth sidebar on top of the third one. Now that I got an ace in the Clone Wars, it's just showing up in her TikTok, and TikTok has spoiled things, and I'm like, oh my god, people.
Spoiler setting.
Yeah, because exactly. Like, I wish there was a spoiler set. They should introduce that in social media. Like, hey, you have to like ask about the post. Is this a spoiler to something? And then you can go in your settings and filter out spoilers. Discord has that. Discord has that. If you send an image or post text, if you do shift backward slash and create the two vertical lines, and you go vertical line, put in your text, vertical line, it'll block it out and mark it as a spoiler. So it'll show up as like a black bar, and then you have to actually click on it to reveal what's in there. So
at that point, it's your fault for clicking on it. Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. That feature needs to be in every form of social media, including thumbnails, because I can't tell you how fast. Oh, what was it?
Oh, I agree. I've already had things spoiled.
The Marvels got spoiled for me. Which I'm going to talk about it here because if you haven't seen it, that's your fault at this point. It's been out for a while. But part of my tirade is also going to happen on the gaming channel. I'm a huge X-Men fan, and the cat, and that was the other thing. The cast of Avengers Doomsday got spoiled for me because of the people were putting the chairs with the names as their thumbnail. And I'm like, dude, so I'm like, first of all, has that been spoiled for you? Do you know who's going to be in it? Because I don't want to spoil it for you.
Oh, yeah, me? I thought you were talking to chat for some reason.
I'm talking to you. Well, chat too. Okay, you know what? So with that said, all right, I won't say anything, but just so you know, I'm very excited about what's going to happen next. I took Grandma Laura to go see the new Fantastic Four movie, which was actually really good. It is literally the freaking plot to Rise of the Silver Surfer, which I think is hilarious. It's the hard difference is A, it takes place in a futuristic version of the 60s, and B, Galactus looks like Galactus and not a huge space cloud.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, anyway. Pokemon.
Pokemon podcast.
Pokemon. So the patent thing kind of scares me, but I double down when people like to bully, and it really bothers me. But if the people were gonna respond to the video as, "Oh, we really want to see that as a video game," I want to learn Unreal Engine as part of the tree of Industrial Light and Magic is pushing for you to learn node-based compositing, realistic visual effects, and background replacement. They also have a huge emphasis on Unreal Engine, which at its core is a game-making software. It's used to make games, but it's also used to make really good cinematics. But because games are also made to look really realistic, it's another tool in the toolbox. And so they're really pushing it because even Marvel's using it because ILM is doing everything. I'd like to work on the Percy Jackson stuff. Please hire me. The volume uses Unreal Engine. That's what it's using to render all of the background and fix the parallax to the camera's position to make those realistic backgrounds. That's why Mando is Chrome, is because they're literally going like, see, no green screen work. Which I mean, there is green screen every so often, but all the shots in the volume, the lighting is reflecting off of Mando's armor. It's a flex. That's it. That's why he's silver. He would have been any other color, but because they could do this effect and push the bar and push the envelope, he's silver. And then I had to go redo my helmet 7 times because of that silver.
They made you that hard.
At least keep me in the props and costumes department, I beg you. Because I also added to my Ghostbuster. Beside the point. I'm not gonna let myself go on a tangent. My original plan was, let me rebuild the first part of Diamond and Pearl, Twin Leaf Town to the first gym badge, Orberg City, and implement the things that I would like to see. I for one, I've come to the conclusion, what I want out of a Pokemon game is I want to live with my Pokemon. I've gone on my Pokemon journey 12 different times. I've collected the badges. I've beaten the Pokemon League. I am the damn it. What does Ash keep calling himself? The Pokemon champion.
Yeah.
I'd like to rest on my laurels now. I'd like to live with my Pokemon. And so one of the things that I wish that they did, and this is my favorite thing in Diamond and Pearl, was the base building, where you could furnish this whole area, and it's your area. And for me, I was like, that's my house. That's my home. Like, they
had it in Ruby and Sapphire too, with the hidden
Ruby and
power
Sapphire was
stuff.
the first ones to introduce it.
Yeah.
So I really liked that idea of secret bases, and I want that to come back. And they did bring it back for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I haven't been able to play with it as much as I want to. I do plan on getting a modded DS so I can stream that to my computer, so that way I could stream it for everybody. But yeah, I really want to do a deep dive into that as well. But I wanted to take 6 weeks to just learn how to make a Pokemon game. There's some amazing tutorials on how to make Pokemon clones, and it's like, hey, this is how you write the script to create the UI to select fight, water gun, use it. This is how you import the animations. This is how you import the models. This is how you create the controller setup, so that way when you press the thumbstick forward, your character walks forward. I want to learn how to do that. Because there are games I want to see, and I'm like, if I can make a game and sell it for $5 and put it on Steam, and it's basically the thing that I've been asking for that the main companies won't make because money's more important to them than actual good game content, I'd like to do it. I want to take a crack at making a shooter. I love Halo. I love Star Wars Battlefront. If I could just combine both of those things into one game, I'm like, sign me up. And I'm really excited to play Helldivers because that has the wave-based, not a wave-based system, but it has that the fighting the AI opponents with your buddies. That's what I really wanted. And then have the option to go, hey, my group of buddies is going to fight your group of buddies. Go capture command posts. That'd be fun. I loved playing Black Ops 2 Zombies at my buddy Justin's house. We'd spend the night at his house. We'd go get pizza and Mountain Dew and Doritos, and we would just play Call of Duty Zombies all night long, and it was so much fun. And I want a shooter that has those modes. Give me my capture command post mode, give me my wave-based enemies mode, and then give me my, my deathmatch Halo mode, and with a bunch of character customization. Character customization is a must. In every game, in my humble opinion.
I like it.
But with Pokemon, it's like, yeah, I'd like to have the ability to, one of the things that I liked about Skyrim that I wish Pokemon would do is that in every town, there's homes that you can purchase. And then, I don't remember if you could furnish it. I didn't get to dive into the mechanic too much. I was busy dodging dragons and getting stuck in dimensions. But the ability to own a home is, one of my favorite things to do. My grandma Teresa was looking at me like I was nuts because she's like, "You play Animal Crossing?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She watched Skylar play it, and she's like, "You play Animal Crossing?" I'm like, "Yeah, it allows me to, live out my dream of my ultimate adult fantasies." And she's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Owning a home." Cause I can't right now. I don't know when I can. That's a lot of fun goal. Subscribe to the Patreon so I can own a home.
Fund my home.
Yeah, fun. There was a point where I was like, I'm totally cool with the idea of like, I'm gonna own a studio and then have like an apartment above the studio, and I'll just live above my studio. I don't care. We're downstairs. Sign me up. But that was a mechanic. What I like about Poké Wilds is the open worldness of it. That part's cool, but I also like the idea of a more limited inventory. So you have to really think about what you want to go when you go out into the wilderness. Have your direct, easy routes, no problem. But I'm sitting here like let's say if it was Ruby and Sapphire, right? At the very beginning of the game on Route 203, 204, you can catch Ralts. It's either a 4% chance of finding one or a 1% chance. But
Wally just walks into it on his first try.
I would rather have a game where you have those pre-built routes, but the Pokemon that normally would appear only 1 or 4% of the time, they are the ones that are in the wild because they're the rare ones. I want rare Pokemon to be rare again. I want it to be ridiculously hard.
It should be not as easy as it used to be.
Exactly. A Tyranitar should be... I should not be seeing a Tyranitar in every single ranked battle I'm in. Right? Yeah. I want it almost impossibly hard. Which, to be fair, it is a game for 10-year-olds. But that's kind of where I'm leaning into the making my own game from scratch. Because originally I was going to make the beginning part of Diamond and Pearl. I wanted to take it to Nintendo of America up in Oregon. And... either Oregon or Washington. I don't remember where the headquarters are. Brandon's in the chat. He can tell me. Because he didn't live too far from it. I was going to take that demo in and be like, hey, I would like to make a new Pokemon game in a new region that focuses on these things. Goes back to the old way of travel, but introduces, like, Zelda-type exploration, like in the original Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, here's an area, and then you go off the frame, and then the next area loads in, and here's all of this area that you can mess with and alter the environment and figure things out, solve some puzzles. But you also have to bring the right Pokemon. I agree that HMs should be gone. That's a great quality of life improvement. But if I have a Scyther, it should naturally be able to cut the tree. But that's what I'm saying. If you want to cut the tree, okay, you need to have a Pokemon that can do that. Either Scyther with his scythe hands, Survivor with its tail, Charizard with some claws. You have to bring the right Pokemon to do the right things. 110%. Yeah. And I also think that, even with Fly, I'll admit with Poké Wilds, when you get a flyable Pokemon that's big enough to ride, you could just fly over everything. But, obviously, if you did that in this game, hey, you can't just dodge all of that. Go on your journey, because if you just fly over to the next town and go get the next gym badge, guess what? He's a little too powerful for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kind of scales.
I also like the idea of, especially in Pokemon Origins, it's insinuated with the fight with Brock that the gym leaders pick their teams based off of how many badges the challenger has.
Yes, no, that's a really good point, because
it would be awesome
if you chose different paths.
I think it sucked for Scarlet and Violet to be like, oh yeah, you can just go to the very end and go fight the ice gym leader, but they're going to be like level 50 while you're level 15. And I'm like, then what's the point of me being able to walk all the way over there just to be able to just get set back and go, nope, you have to go back to these other ones. I still did the gym battles out of order, but that was because I was determined. But I also am an adult with an adult brain and know how Pokemon works pretty well, so I can get into those situations and be fine. I did win at least one Nuzlocke, so I have to have some kind of brain power to do that.
But even with that too, it's like if you did the harder ones first, then you'd go to the other ones and it was just like you just run through it. And
yeah,
it'd be cool if they adjusted based on your badges and made it more difficult. But
and that's how I felt. I was like, because I think I went to the second or third gym first, and then when I got to what the first gym was, it was like, okay, well, I just swept through that no problem. What was the point of that? So the idea that the game levels up with you, and that's part of the fun of Poke Wilds, is that I believe I don't know what the exact mechanic is, but the level of the wild Pokemon is tailored to what's in my party. Which is also really nice, because I'll admit with Sword and Shield, it was a little frustrating going into the wild areas, and it's like, all the Pokemon are like level 50, but then it's like you go to the planned routes in Sword and Shield, and they're all the base stock level. They don't level up with you either. But I will say...
It's funny, because there's a mechanic for sure in it that where the game knows what level your party Pokemon are, because like with the Repel, it knows to not let anything higher than your level. So if it could recognize what level you had, you would think that it could scale to the level you had.
Well, the Repels are based off of it's like a bracketed thing. So like the Repel is like Pokemon that are level 1 through this have the percentage goes down by X amount. And then the Super Repel goes, okay, X amount all the way from this tier goes here. So it's not that it's actively calculating, it just has a preset, like it's checking, what level is the Pokemon? 42? Well, we'll have them show up a little bit with a Max Repel.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I thought it took into account whatever your lead Pokemon was. Like if it was higher than 60, your Repel. Because if I've had like level 50s or 60s, and if you run a Repel, you can still run into battles if it's higher level than yours. But if it's lower level than yours, then you don't run into any battles with Repel.
Yeah, no. From my understanding, the Repels are based off of the wild Pokemon themselves, not based off of anything in your party.
I don't know.
We'll go check that out later. Once I... There's that, and then... You know what? It is a really fun Pokemon game that Nintendo never made? Cobblemon.
Oh, I've heard about it. You talked to me about that. It's like the Minecraft
I have been playing that almost every day. I rebuilt, using Professor Rowan's lab as inspiration. That is the house that I live in. I literally, within the first day, I put up the walls, I put in the windows, I put in the floor. I'm like, great, now I need a roof. Problem is, blue wood only spawns in hell. So guess where I had to go? Yeah. Every time I've had to go in there, it has not been fun. I got in there, I got killed with it. I had like 3 weeks of not dying, and then the moment I stepped in, I got shot by a skeleton, smacked by a magma cube, and then blown up by a ghast, and I died right next to the portal, and I'm like, this sucks. I hate going to hell. It's not fun. Don't do it, guys. Don't go to hell.
Do your best.
You will not have a good time there. I promise. I've been there. It sucks. It didn't take a highway to get there either. Damn, I'm really hoping you would get that.
I got it. I know AC/DC. I almost did the... I was just going to let you keep running with it.
That's in the Discord soundboard, by the way.
I'll see. I'm limited.
I don't know if you knew that. Yeah, it's one of the default sounds.
No, damn it.
Can't you make a farm for those trees? Yes. So those particular trees involve a specific type of mushroom that has to grow on netherrack that's infested with certain terrain, which you cannot just pick up. You have to have a silk touch pickaxe. I built a path all the way there. I had to travel very far into hell to go get that stupid tree. I made sure to get more than enough to build the roof, and I said, we're done. If we're doing expansion to the house, we're using something else. Well, what's really cool about Cobblemon is that we get to live with our Pokemon. They introduced a pasture block. So if you take a PC, which you have to craft, and you craft it with wood, hay, and a hopper, you can put in up to 16 Pokemon in that pasture block, and then they will walk around the area. They'll walk around your build. So we built a pool. We have a pasture block for our water-type Pokemon, where I caught a shiny Frillish, and it swims in there. Nice. I have my Archon is with me right now because I'm running a team of just birds. But the all of our favorite Pokemon are running around the house, and it was really fun because Ace made sure to get 6 different Gengar, and they're pretty big. I found a shiny Miltank. I named it Babe the Blue Ox. I just caught a shiny Lechonk.
Hey, nice.
I'm gonna name him either Wilbur or Piglet. I'm not entirely sure yet, but
That's cool.
I built a huge elaborate garden because apricorns make a comeback. That was another mechanic that I loved in Heart Gold and Soul Silver was the Pokeball making. And part of it was because I saw that episode on Boomerang in the anime when they meet Kurt and he talks about making the Pokeball and how it's made out of this fruit. I've always loved that concept, and I loved seeing it come back in Legends Arceus and the Pokeballs having that wooden texture to them. But they made sure every color was there, and each one you could do it in different combinations. So you could take a pink one and I can't say a lot for the pink ones, but to make a park ball, it's red and green apricorns. To make a safari ball, it's yellow and green. Dusk balls are green and black. And then if you use all of the same color, it's the same thing as a regular Pokeball, but they all are different colors and also show up that way. So I caught all of my Pokemon, minus my starter, in a green ball!
That's pretty cool.
And color-coded it. So Ace gets all the black Pokeballs, I get all the green ones, and then we have a Dusk Ball in a display case, because that's colors. And then you have to use gold ingots on Dusk Balls as well. So there's different tiers. So you use copper to make regular Pokeballs, iron to make the Great Balls. Don't remember what it was for but you can craft a Master Ball, but it's very hard to do. It's like you have to have a Nether Star, which you have to get by defeating the Wither, which is the second boss in the game. You have to get Shulker boxes, which you can only get by defeating the other main boss in the game, the Ender Dragon, and then explore the end to fight Shulkers and then get the Shulker box. And then I think, what was part of that? Diamonds. You had to use diamonds to make a Master Ball.
Makes sense.
Or no, Netherite. I think it was Netherite, which you have to not only are they super rare, but you can only mine it in scraps, and then you have to combine the scraps with diamonds, I think, or something. I've never gotten to Netherite armor. I've been playing the game since I was 13, and I've never get Netherite. I just don't. I don't ever get diamond most of the time. Yeah. I save my diamonds. I'm a hoarder. I hoard my wealth. I have a chest full of diamonds and emeralds that I've never... Except on the rare occasion. There was a villager that showed up with a green dye, and I was like, I need that. So I bought it, dyed my Wooloo. And that's part of the other thing, too. It incorporates a lot of the Minecraft mechanics with the Pokemon. So if you get Wooloo, you could dye it like any other sheep. So I have a green Wooloo, a blue Wooloo, and a black Wooloo. And I can shear them for their wool. Pokemon drop different items. If you defeat a flying type and it has a beak, guess what? It drops a sharp beak. You can get... I was farming Lilligant for revival herbs. There was... what was the other thing that I was farming? Tentacool for black ink, because I needed black to make a banner or something. The mechanics are so fun, and they're still working on the mod too. It's a mod, so you just get the mod pack, you download it, put it in the right folder, and go. And it's such a fun. It's a fun way to play Pokemon. I have an absolute blast. I chose Trico as my starter, just as I did many moons ago with my first Pokemon game that you gave me.
Nice.
How did that go? Because I remember you asked you got Pokemon Pearl, and then you're like, well, I don't need Sapphire anymore. Then you were going to give it to me. And then I was like, oh, sweet. And then he's like, yeah. You were like, let me go ask your parents. And I was like, damn it.
The conversation had come up a couple times about, me, either talking to you about Pokemon or, showing you my Pokemon games. So I think I already knew at that point. I was like, I don't even think they're going to let me give them this game. And then, yeah, I had to, or someone told me to go ask your mom. And your mom just agreed to, she was like, yeah, you can have it. Fine. I was like, okay, cool. So, yeah, I handed off. Because that was my first game with Sapphire.
Yeah, because I remember sitting in that room just it felt like an eternity. Because I was I didn't think it was going to happen. Because my parents had already given me the speech about, oh, it's violent and there's no educational value. I'm like, but what my mom explained to me later, she's like, yeah, no, we knew you were watching it on Friday nights when the rest of us went to sleep because we can look at our search history on demand, Lucas. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a thing. I didn't think search history existed back then, but it did. So, which is also how I got in trouble watching Naruto, because of course my mom walked in as I watched the first episode, and it was the Sexy Juju episode. So,
it always be those episodes.
It's always those episodes. When I got Saints Row the Third, there were so many moments where I'm like, my mom's gonna walk in through that door, and I'm so screwed.
Emerald's a good one to start on.
Started on Emerald, and I regret nothing. Yeah, no. Well, I didn't get to choose it. It chose me.
The one chooses the wizard.
The choice is, do you want to go on an adventure? Yes or no? And I said yes. And then, cool, let's make sure your mom's cool with it. I'm like,
How old were you when you played it?
7.
Dude, you were 7. See, I didn't play my first Pokemon game, so I was like, I want to say 9 or 10, which is kind of fitting because you like go on your Pokemon journey when you're like 10 or something like that, typically.
At least that's the canon.
Yeah, I think I was at least 9 years old when I had just finished Zelda Minish Cap, and I was hanging out with my other cousin, and I was like, can I play one of your games? Because I didn't have anything to play. And then, of course, the blue cartridge, you're like, ooh. And I was like, you know, I've never played Pokemon before. Can I try it?
That's something I miss. I miss those so much, like the special edition, like clear acrylic. Like that's why it's like, did I send you a picture of my GameCube?
Yeah, I think so, because it's the silver one with you got the picture on the front. Oh no, it's the translucent one. Yes, it blends in with your cup right there.
Oh yeah, and my green controller. That was like, I got in a whole argument last night about the color green with my friends because we were playing Worms. You ever played Worms?
Like, no, it's objectively the best color.
It is. It absolutely is. It is part of my identity now. It's but anyway, so have you ever played Worms?
Worms? Oh no, I don't think so.
No,
you might just maybe.
It's a turn-based like strategy game. So like you all have your team of worms, and each person takes a turn selecting a worm, and then it has like military items in it, so you can call in airstrikes. You can throw grenades, and the goal is to kill all the other worms.
Last one standing. Like warfare so fast. I thought it was.
It's Worms Warfare, and so I didn't know there were so many versions of it. I'd like to get the newer version that came out in 2016. We're currently playing the one from 1997. But it color codes the names, and everyone gets to have a color. Unfortunately, me, my friend Jade, and my friend Jarrett all like the color green. So who gets to have green? Right? And so that's part of the problem. And for me, it's like, I'm so used to being green all the time because it's like growing up, my mom had green. She color coded us. And so Katie had blue, Emery had yellow, which eventually turned to purple, and then I had green. And so I always had the green cup, the green dishes. Even when we were in Japan, I bought the 2 Pokemon cups I bought were green. They were the grass type ones. And then they had Shaman on it. I love Shaman. He's a literal hedgehog, and it's awesome. And he's voiced by Miles per hour. But we got in there, and they're like, why are you so attached to green? I'm like, it's my thing! It's like all 3 of my YouTube channels have green in it, you know? Like, when I do my subtitles, I purposely highlight my color in green, and that's part of the characterization, too. When you're in my videos, go back and watch them, everybody. Especially Mario Kart. I will color match you based off of what you're playing as in the game. That's also why I get very irritated, like, when we play Fortnite, and especially if we're doing a recording session, and everyone keeps changing their skins after every match. I'm like, guys, how are people supposed to know who's talking? How are people supposed to know who's who? 1 second you're Batman, the other second you're Indiana Jones. How the hell are they supposed to know who you are? It's like, I can't tell a funny story if you keep changing how you look. It's like, you're not Mystique, okay? At least in the movies, Mystique has a whole shot dedicated to her transforming the next person so you can follow through, but if like one shot cuts to you, cuts back to me, I'm now blue, that doesn't make sense. So,
isn't there a Mystique skin too? I was gonna say, I thought
there is a Mystique skin.
Yeah.
It's called continuity. So it like, yeah, and Ace goes, green is your birthright. My name starts with a G. It's green, guys. I gotta have it. When I was going to church, there was actually a really funny moment where somebody came up to me. They're like, "Is your favorite color green?" And I'm like, "It is. How did you know?" They're like, "Every time we see you, you're in something green is on you. Either it's a green hat, a green shirt, a green charm, or something. But there's something green on you at all times." And I'm like, "Yes."
Exactly. I'm actually just terrified of leprechauns, and I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I am. Like, oh, you're a leprechaun. I am the leprechaun. You're gonna be stuck with me.
I knew you could do it. I knew you had it in you. I was like, wait a minute.
Dude, Lucky Charms commercials, man. That's all it is.
So Sapphire was your first, but I know that you're a Gen 4 boy.
Absolutely.
Is that still your favorite, you would say?
Oh, 100%. I was so disappointed in Brilliant Diamond as I've sunken in 400 hours into it. Because it's
Super
like the things that I loved about Gen 4, most of it didn't come back, and I was really upset. Like the The Grand Underground, that's a nice change. I think that was valid, finding Pokemon under there, especially like, hey, here's a way to get other fire types. That's a great idea. That was a huge criticism of the original games. And it's, you know, I like the fact that they added that there. You could catch the other starters. That's been something I wish was in Pokemon games.
I do wish we had bases still, though. Bases would have been great.
Yeah, and it's like, and we did have them, but guess what? It's just statues.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like, would you like a wax museum? It's like, no, I don't. It's like, would you like to have a Greek temple? And I'm like, no, I don't want a Greek temple. The statues are cool. I think it's a cool mechanic and function, but I want my TV and my fridge and my science machinery. That was my when I bought the first giant science machine that was found in like the Team Galactic building, I was like, oh, I am scientist. And I was like, that was my whole thing. I loved that. That was my favorite thing in the world. And that's, yeah, it's, I want a home, and that's what I love about Cobblemon, because even then it adds new blocks. You can take apricorn trees, and there's a new type of wood. If you make a door with the apricorn wood, it has a Pokeball carved into it. It's a Pokeball window. And then when you have shaders, when the sun pierces through the door, you see the sun make a Pokeball shape on the floor traveling across it because the sun is going down. Because our house faces the west.
Nice.
So we get to watch the sunset from the front door all the time. It's great. I should have built a port.
Yeah. Well, you know me. I'm a Gen 2 boy. That is, Johto will always have a special place in my heart. I don't know. I'm still, like I said, still waiting for a remake.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll take it. Take me back to
But
Johto.
it's like, the thing is that Johto means they have to actually put work into it, because you have 2 regions. And like, oh, you know what the other thing? The other thing I liked that Pokemon did that didn't show up in Diamond and Pearl? Regional variants. That would have been a really good way to introduce fire types, because it's like, hey, you know what? Here's a Pokemon that shows up in every region. What does a Sinnoh Geodude look like? Right? He could have been made of fire and rock type. Other Pokemon I'd like to throw into the into the light would be Zubat. Could you imagine having a fire type Crobat?
Actually, it'd be pretty cool. It remind me of
it's
the
like
Fire
that
Chiefs
was your way to get in old Pokemon in new ways. Like a Sinnohian Ponyta would have been pretty sick. Like So it's like there's a lot of things that they could have done, or it's like you could have definitely made like a couple more dragon types in there too to combat that Garchomp, because it's the land of dragons. The 3 main legendaries are dragons. That was the place to do. Fun fact about dragon types and Generation 4, Haxorus was actually designed for Diamond and Pearl. It was cut from the games, and it was the first Pokemon for Black and White, and then they reversed engineered Haxorus to get Fracture and Axew.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool Pokemon.
That was one of the design elements where they went backwards instead of progressed. Now, we all know Rhyhorn is technically the first, or not Rhyhorn, Rhydon is the first Pokemon. Yeah. He's technically.
Have you seen that Spider-Man meme where it's like, who's the first Pokemon? And it's like
Bulbasaur, Mew, Arceus, and Rhydon.
Yeah, they're all like pointing at each other.
No, I've seen one where it's
it's like a mix.
They photoshopped the answers on like Jeopardy, I think, where it's like, which one of these is the first Pokemon? And then it's the options are Mew, Bulbasaur, Rhydon, Arceus, and it's just like,
what do you mean by first?
Can you provide me an example? Like, you know, like that was the whole. Yep.
So, is there any gen that you still haven't played?
I've played all of them. I think the only one that I won't play, not because, I mean, it looks interesting, and I kind of want to get it only for the battle mechanic. I just don't believe in the price of the Switch 2 on top of them being able to break your Switch 2. They've had so many problems with that already. It's ridiculous. Like, do you know anything about that? About this?
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about that.
How like people are buying used copies, but because Nintendo has a way of figuring out if that copy of the game got dumped for piracy, that they go, oh, well, we'll just kill it. Because they don't like the secondhand market either. I think they've come out and said they don't like people buying used games, which sucks.
Are you talking about Legends?
Yeah, Legends AZ. The reason why I won't get it, because it's like, I'm looking forward to the customization. X and Y introduced that, I'm
it's
introducing
with Switch and Switch 2, I thought.
It is coming for Switch and Switch 2, so I guess I could go buy it.
Because I'm
However,
playing it on just the regular Switch.
I have a pretty strong feeling it's not going to be optimized for the Switch 1, so I feel like it's not going to run nearly as well as it did Scarlet and Violet. Because when you play Scarlet and Violet on the Switch 2, it looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen footage of that compared to when it's playing on Switch 1.
No, I haven't seen that.
And I'm like, I hate that. Like, we live in a time, an era where it's like, I don't understand how we got here. It's like, but doing more research in Nintendo's history, the main CEO of Nintendo passed away some years ago, I forget. But the guy that took over, he was from Nintendo, but he was a financial guy. And he wasn't really much of a gamer, but they picked him because he was a businessman. And so they have leaned into the idea of respect the value of our characters instead of the sideways thinking. I believe the way he said it, he said, "Don't look to the stars, but look toward the ocean. Look toward the horizon." Something. Look at what's already been made and how do we make that fun again? Because the original Game Boy was built off of old calculators. That was the hardware that they used. It wasn't new LCD displays, it was old calculators. And that carried on with even the Nintendo DS, because even though we had touchscreens that used your fingers, that's not what they used. They used the older touchscreens that had the stylus and then utilized that like crazy.
Yeah.
And it's great. And then like with the Wii, it's like, again, not the best hardware in the world. But that's not what they were going for. They were like, let's do motion controls. No one's done that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or I guess they have, because they had that one Duck Hunt game with the gun, and that's technically motion control to an extent. But you get my point.
Take it further.
It was more about the innovation and making a good console, making a good game, whereas now it's like it's more of the business thing, and I think that's kind of what happened. We kind of grew up with because you had the very first generation of game development where it's just like, hey, we have this, let's do this, let's make games, this sounds like fun. And then they did it. And then you had the generation after that, which is where I feel like you and me fell into, where everyone was like, we grew up with video games and we love video games as people who played video games. Now let's go make them. And that's how you got Halo. Halo was made by a bunch of college kids, like drinking and having pizza, and just made a first-person shooter. And then, like with Pokemon was made, it was a gaming magazine. They talked about video games first, and then they did manga and all of that and create free. And it was based off of the idea of like, hey, I used to go catch bugs when I was a kid. And now with the urbanization and all of that natural stuff it was a way of saying like, hey, preserve nature on top of this. So there was a special message in that, but it wasn't a video game thing.
Satoshi's thing, I think, was really Proto Man before. Capomon, which is what it was called before, like came as like a secondary thing. But yeah, no, it's just funny, like the evolution of it and how, no pun intended, the evolution of it, and just how it ended up accidentally becoming as big as it did.
That's my weather app.
Oh, it's gonna rain. I'm just kidding.
Actually, it might. It was raining yesterday. Yeah. So my sidebar, my phone, for whatever reason, I don't know what version of Android I have to do this, but it's like, let's make every single notification the exact same default sound, and I was like, no. Because my default text for a long time was just like the simulations. So every 5 minutes, just like the simulations, just like the simulations, just like the simulations. I was like, what's going on? And so I've had to manually go in and put a custom ringtone for every single app on my phone. And so for the weather app, I chose the Song of Storms because I feel like that made sense.
Yeah, that's cool.
TikTok is the flute that you play in Legends Arceus, which is also this little tune that plays when you hit the start button on the Diamond and Pearl starting screen. Dialga's the Pokemon of time. It's called TikTok time. Get it?
I like it.
I did that. Instagram is the Zelda Breath of the Wild opening a chest and receiving an item. Then I have my text tone is R2D2, and then I have custom tones for other people. So my managers have the Kim Possible ringtones, and that way I know, hey, I need to look at this because I don't. Emery is the Death Star alarm when she calls me, my little sister, because I never know what's going on with her. So
Nah,
I'm
something
like,
bad.
this could be an emergency, or this could be, I
Something,
don't know. So it's
something
just
imperial.
yeah, it makes me go, oh, that can't be good. And then I to the phone. My
You're
dad is the
terrible.
Imperial March.
That's also terrible.
But when he texts me, it's Vader breathing.
Oh,
Because the
wow.
problem is we play phone tag. Like, I finally got to have a conversation with my dad after like 5 to 6 weeks, because he's 8 hours ahead in London right now. Or not London, but England.
Ah, yes.
And
yes.
so I was up at 6 a.m. and he responded to my Ghostbuster pictures, and I was like, oh, he's awake. And then I'm like, hey, what time is it for you? He's like 4 in the afternoon. I'm like, okay, well, now I know when to call you. The weekends at 6 a.m. Got it. Ace is like, I can demonstrate.
Waiting for the noise.
Right. You're all bringing.
So have you heard anything about Gen 10?
I have not.
I've heard rumors.
I haven't even seen the news direct. I know they're doing like a Pokemon Animal
They haven't
Crossing,
announced it
but
yet, but there's a very heavy indication that it's going to be Greece oriented.
I was about to say, I wanted to say like, oh, they could have made Ponyta a flying type in Diamond and Pearl and made it a Pegasus, because I want to see a Pegasus Pokemon.
There have been leaks saying there'll be like probably a Pegasus Pokemon, a Cerberus Pokemon.
That's
Pokemon
so hard, because it's like, I know it's going to be for the Switch too.
Probably,
and I don't want
That's
to
what I
pay
was
for
telling you
that.
today. I saw a Switch 2 at Walmart today, and I was like, I can make a terrible decision. I was like, what? So I can play Mario Kart or like the Donkey Kong game? There's not that many exclusives.
Maybe
But
that
as
Mario
we get
Kart
to,
World was such a big letdown.
yeah, but as we get to the next Pokemon gen, Animal Crossing, a new Zelda, some of these ones that are good, that's when it's going to be really tough.
Zelda's going to be it for me. Is like,
Hmm.
we'll see how quickly I go back on my word based on will we get a Zelda Special Edition Switch, and B, which Zelda game? Because I still haven't
I
finished
have
Echoes of
a
Wisdom.
feeling. I have a feeling I will cave, but I'm just trying to hold out as long as I can.
You give me a Breath of the Wild 3, I'm definitely down, because I thoroughly enjoyed both of those two games. And me being me, I always pray. I'm like, I want the Twilight to come back. I'm like, please, like if you go watch my first episode of Tears of the Kingdom, when you're walking through as it's teaching you the controls and you're finding all the hieroglyphs, I'm like, Twilight Princess, Midna, is Midna gonna go back? Are we gonna see Twilight people? We're gonna see, no, they're just Zonai.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But yeah, we'll
I'm
see
interested
as
in
we
the new
get
Hyrule
closer.
Warriors game, but not. I liked Age of Calamity, but it didn't play like the first Hyrule Warriors game. But I love the first Hyrule Warriors. I might play some of that on the channel. So I will not play my Switch. But it also just got a lot harder because I'm not paying the Nintendo subscription either. So all of the online stuff is gone for me. I don't get to do that anymore. So with that said, probably not going to do another Mario Kart 8 video, even though it was super popular. Or I might at least pay for like 1 month, get everybody on, and then go play it. But I do have Double Dash.
Nice.
I do have Double Dash. I got Grandma to play it. It was me and Grandma against Emery and Trent.
Okay.
It was that was a lot of fun. That was a good time. Grandma does not know how to throw the items very well, but you know what? She tried. And
you blame her?
And we all are trash talking each other, including Grandma. Grandma's very fun. I was waiting for her to push Emery out of the way when we were losing.
Yeah, well, you should watch the direct. There wasn't anything too crazy, but have you heard anything about the Pokopia game? It looks.
I did, because that's the one where you play as a Ditto, right?
Yeah, and it's kind of like the terraforming, build your own town of Pokemon. It's like
I'm
wants
interested
to
in
be
Pokemon Champions.
Uh-huh.
Or not Champions.
Oh yeah.
The one where it's basically Pokemon Stadium. Because I did see that they talked about.
I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, it's so that I think, which I've said before on streams that they should do this, and I'm glad they're doing it. Is that they needed to make a Pokemon Coliseum game or a Pokemon Stadium-like game that they slowly introduce all 1,025 Pokemon.
That would be cool.
But that's where you go for your competitive stuff. Make the battles look cinematic, have fun with the animations, dive into that, because I could understand like part of the pipeline issue of, because I have that problem with Pokemon D&D, is that you have so many Pokemon. And in a video game, you're going to need models, textures, animations, because not every Pokemon moves the same. I have to learn that with the live action Pokemon. I can tell you the textures are not fun. You have to animate all the moves, and at the same time, it's like, well, how do you... Flamethrower from a Charizard is going to look very different from a flamethrower from a Torkoal. And so how do you incorporate those animations? But if you have a team that's dedicated, like, this is the only game you're doing, it's just battles, and they're focused on making cool camera moves and animations for the moves and the Pokemon themselves, because it's like, I feel like a lot of time the Pokemon just stand there. There's not a lot of life for these animations. And going back and playing Battle Revolution, because while I was waiting for my GameCube to get fixed, I was just playing Battle Revolution nonstop because I couldn't play Leaf Green. The Pokemon look so much alive. They look mad. They're like ready to fight, and their fainting animations are so out there, and it's a lot of fun. Like, I think Magneton like literally falls over and splits into 3 and starts rolling around before it goes back into the Pokeball. Like, it's fun. Like, I enjoy watching this stuff. And it feels cinematic, and I get so much more invested in it. Where it's like when I'm playing Brilliant Diamond, and especially in the Pokemon Battle Towers, oh my god, it's just the same background over and over again, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Whereas if you play Battle Revolution, it's like you have like 12 different stadiums. So it's like you could fight you could have your battle in a volcano. You could have it in a cave full of crystals. You could find, like, one of the things that I'm super excited about in Cobblemon, I found an underground lake not far from the house. I'm turning it into our personal battlefield. So when we do go battle, it's like it'll be lit up. You have to walk across these stepping stones to get onto the battlefield, which is in the middle of this underground lake, and then that's where we have our battles. Like, right now I'm building out our garden, which I'll have to give you a tour of in a future live stream, because I do want to play Cobblemon live. That will happen.
That's cool.
But it just, yeah, that's where I feel like there's not a lot. Like, Legend Arceus was a great breath of fresh air, but you can tell that this is what they wanted to do. And I think that's the other disconnect.
And I'm afraid for where the next one is going. Because I really, they hit it, they got something special with Legends Arceus, and I don't know if Legends EA is going to do that again. Am I going to play it? Yes.
Well, it can't. Like, it's in such a different setting. It's about a very specific thing, and it's the progression of Lumio City. I think it'll be fun because it's like, it's a fun sequel to X and Y. It makes me want to go back and replay my Pokemon Y. I still have it. I have my 3DS. Actually, my original 3DS is working again. I don't know if I told you that. I got it to work. I've been playing White 2 recently. I've been taking it with me to work. I got actually.
Oh.
This is the one that I mowed Grandpa's lawn so many times to get. Because he started me out as $10. It was $5 per lawn, and he only had the 2 lawns.
That's amazing.
And then Winter would get me excited because it's like, oh, I can make an extra $5 moving wood and dodging Black Widows.
Moving wood is bonkers.
Dude, I got so happy. The amount of... Yeah, I had this for so long, and I played it so much that the padding on the thumbsticks come on. I'm going to have to replace that.
That's pretty cool that you still have one, though.
Yeah, no, I have this one. I have a blue one. I have... Yeah, you want it... So, my... No. Check this out.
Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba.
For all of my DSs?
Oh my god.
Yep.
Wow. You still have them all, which is actually very impressive.
I have, and what's cool is I have almost every generation of DS. Now I'm like, I need to complete the collection. I have the original Nintendo DS. This was actually my dad's. I need to replace the touchscreen because my dumbass was like, oh, let's use a hammer nail to play Pac-Man Touch and Roll. That was stupid. Yeah. I immediately regretted after that. Yeah. It didn't take me long to figure that out. My original 3DS. I don't have my original DS. That broke a long time ago, and I think I threw it away. I was like, I'm not going to have the time. This is my stepsister's DS, Ryan. Emery's DS,
Oh,
Peyton's DS.
they just became yours at some point.
I bought this off of my friend in high school. Yeah, they gave it to me because they're like, we don't play these anymore. Here you go. And I'm like, yay! And then I've got, so I bought this off a friend of mine in high school because I broke my purple one. That one's gone. My mom got me the DSi for my birthday one year, and then Emery almost broke it because she stole it out of my room to go show her friends. Look what my brother got. Like, why are you showing your friends? That's not yours. Anywho, luckily my mom got me a protective case, and the case is what broke instead of the DS. So, good hindsight. This is my 2DS XL.
Thing's tight.
It is. I was like, it has a button that you could press. It does nothing.
I didn't even know there was a Pokemon DS.
Then
Pretty cool.
the one that you were with me when I got, that I impulsed 100%, my Japanese 3DS XL in pink, because this is the only one that they had.
Hey, rock and roll. It goes well with the
I was like,
blue.
they had diamond, they had white. I remember calling you, like, get over here.
It's like you're crazy. I remember you playing, and I was like, you're like, I don't know how to even. Remember you saying like you're trying to spell the names for your.
I was like, okay, I want to know. I want to name my Turtwig Leafy. Let me go look up the Japanese word for leafy, and then it's like, but because it's not a real word, then it's like, okay, I have to go learn the hiragana of Lee and Fee, and then put those two characters in. So his name is Leafy, and it's like, yeah, that was a whole. He's just like the snow god of the stack.
But you're learning it.
Yeah, but what's also fun is that now that I've been collecting DS games. Like every time I go to GameStop, you can go and ask them for a list for them to print of GPA games as well.
Wow!
And so they are, I'll go back to that point in a second. But you can ask them for the list of games, of DS games that they have, and then it'll have the prices next to them, so you can see their inventory because they have them in a drawer behind the counter, and you can
Makes
say,
sense.
yes, I'd like to get Pokemon White for $140. And then, it's Pokemon White in the United States is insanely expensive. It's dumb. I hate it.
That's fair.
But you find some gems. I got Super Monkey Ball Touch and Go for $5. The Force Unleashed for $7. Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga, I think I spent maybe $5 or $10 on. I don't remember. I'm on the hunt for Percy Jackson because I got to play it.
Yeah. You ever see any Fire Emblem? Let me know.
Right now, I'm on the hunt for Castlevania because Ace is really into Castlevania.
Nice.
Yep. So that's fun. What else is there? What else did I pick up? Found Cookie Mama. I found Lego Battles while I was with you at the Weekend Blender that one time. Yeah. A lot of DS games. I'm looking for Pokemon Ranger next, because it's like, I did get the Japanese version of Shadows of Almia, but I still want to go get an English version, and because I'm a nerd. Yeah, the DS was it, man. That was the best handheld console.
It was a good time. So, I mean, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, still one of the best
Dude.
Pokemon games there is.
And the backwards compatibility, because even after the DS came out, you could still play GBA games for a long time. Before they went to the DSi and then the 3DS. And even then, the 3DS was like, hey, not only is there thousands of games with the 3DS, but here's another 1,000 from the Nintendo DS that still work just fine. And with every iteration of the 3DS, it didn't matter because it was the same cartridge, basically. So you could always play those old games. And so I think that's kind of the other part of it, too, is that now it's like, man, with this switching over to the Switch, I'm having to have those backwards compatibility conversations with my customers again, and it's just like, yeah, because Nintendo's also not giving out dev kits for the Switch 2, and so they've told independent parties to just just design it for the Switch 1, because the Switch 2 will play it, and then the game breaks, and they have no idea why. And that's the other thing, too, is that I just feel like they're kind of like, for lack of a better term, shitting on the indie development scene. And it's like, that makes me not want to buy your console either. Because it's like, the only real reason I buy your consoles anyway is for your exclusives. But if you make them too expensive for me, I'm just not going to go get them. See, there you go. That's Pokemon Go. It's the Pokemon Platinum. I found an item. Probably telling me my egg is ready to hatch because I walk like 8 kilometers a day. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's hard. I think I'm going to make my own creature catching adventure game, because I want it to be like Pokemon, because that's essentially what I want to play, but they're just not making that game. And so, and one of the things that is just, we're far enough into the stream, kids would have tuned out by now.
You get one.
No, well, I was going to say ass backwards. It's just ass backwards on... It's fucking ass backwards that they just aren't making... Pokemon's not scratching my itch, and it's just like, I think it's ass backwards that you can go in and patent a mechanic. Because in the board game scene, you cannot copyright rules. And that's kind of the other thing that I don't really understand the difference between copyright and patent. Because I'm like, oh, technically with copyright, I can make my own board game with the exact same rules as Monopoly. I just cannot call it Monopoly, and it cannot look like Monopoly. But it can have all of the same rules, down to the dice, jail time. We'll just call it prison instead of jail. Like, you know, you get it's a whole thing. But somehow, some way, there's a legal loophole where, and that's kind of like the precedent that I'm at, is I'm like, anybody who's in the video game circles and as common sense can go, that should never have been approved. No one should be able to say, I own the mechanic of summoning a character to fight another character. That's so vague. And at the same time, Pokemon didn't invent it. I didn't have enough time before stream to find that little tidbit of what video game had the first summoning a creature mechanic. But I know that Pokemon definitely was not the first.
It's like trying to get a patent on turn-based combat. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like that's way too broad, you know?
Exactly. And it's like, at the same time, Shining Forces did it before them. It was a Sega Genesis RPG that I actually really did enjoy playing, and now I can't play because I don't pay for the Sega Online anymore. Nintendo's Sega Genesis emulator. So I'll just have to go get a Genesis and a cartridge of Shining Forces. It's a fun game. But I'm a little worried. It's like, I know I have like some creatures figured out. Like I have, I want to base the game off of California because I live, like, it's one of my favorite states. I know a lot of people like to dog on it, but it is, I think it's still a great place.
West Coast, best go.
I have Boogie Bear, which is a bear cub that holds a boogie board. Evolves into what did I call him? Can't remember. I had names for all of it, but Boogie Bear evolves into the next one up, which is, you know, the middle stage teenager with a skim board, and then evolves into the grown bear called Monarch, and it holds a surfboard. And so I'm trying to figure out how to get the regal stuff in there too, because Monarch is the name of the bear on our flag. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, our bear is named Monarch. And so I know I want that. I want I think his name is Poppy. Because he's a grass type dog that has not too different from Bulbasaur, but it has the flower on his back is the California poppy, the gold poppies. And so,
I like it.
Yeah, I wanted to be something poppy because, you know, it's a puppy, but poppy, and then it'll evolve further into that. I don't know what, but
I like it.
Try to introduce that green and gold in there. And then I didn't know what I want to do with the fire type yet because I couldn't figure out a way to make a rattlesnake look cute. And it started with, like, this is what I want my next Pokemon generation to be based off of. If I'm going to head the game, then it should be based off of my home.
Should make it a mosquito. Just kidding.
You know what? Maybe. I was like, I was looking into, like, for my fire type, I was like, oh, well, what's our California bird? And I'm like, no, wait, we have a bird fire type. It's Torchic. And then I was like, oh, well, what about the mountain lions? Because that was the big thing at Beale. It was mountain lions, coyotes, and rattlesnakes.
Yeah. A fire
and then I was like,
cool.
I couldn't make a rattlesnake cute. And then we already had, did we have a fire type puppy starter? Hold on a second. Not anything about it. No, it was, but my California poppy, my grass type was already a dog, so I couldn't have the fire type be a dog as well. And then, I think that was the third one. Oh, the mountain lion couldn't be a cat because we already had Litten. We already have a fire type cat, so I can't do cat.
I mean, there's like 5,000 Pikachu clones, but
Yeah, but now that but they're not the starters though. Well, granted, Pikachu's technically not a starter, but kind of is. But
yeah.
But the other thing about the Pika clones is that they're all based off of mechanics introduced into games. Pichu is a baby Pikachu introducing the breeding mechanic. Plus, Minun introduced double battles. Pachirisu. What was Pachirisu? Pachirisu did something.
He doesn't do anything, not even evolve.
Because I'm probably didn't introduce any like crazy mechanics. I think maybe it was the stat changes. No, that sounds too.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, point being, where was I going with this? I don't remember.
You're talking about Pikachu clones and your California Pokemon.
But we've been talking for almost 2 hours now, which is not surprising.
I remember you say
you should see us when I come to his house. We will talk nonstop. It actually gets to a point where I'm like, hey, like the reason I have to ask to go to 7-Eleven so often is because my throat is parched and I need another beverage. With how much talking we do back and forth.
It's like when you're like in like a fucking. Oh, I got my one.
Yep, there you go. It's okay.
When you're in a courtroom and they have like all the bottles of water for you because everybody's talking so much.
That's another video I want to do. There's because now I want to do VR stuff. I have a whole list of VR videos I want to do. All of them are in VR chat. Number one, you know my affinity of voices. Especially the Carl Weezer and Jimmy's ma. So I have a Carl Weezer player model downloaded so I can mess with people as Carl Weezer. And just be in character the entire time. I have Shaggy saved, I have Eric Cartman saved, I have Mickey Mouse saved. But for Mickey Mouse, we want to do a whole courtroom setting. And Mickey's on trial for beating up Minnie. Because every time I improv Mickey, I don't know why I do this. I am not a misogynist. My Mickey Mouse comes out abusive.
Violence, you're crazy.
Mickey, I made you a sandwich. This isn't peanut butter and jelly. It's just.
I can't.
Get back in the kitchen, Minnie. I have to run $1 billion corporation taking over and buying everyone's childhoods, and I come back home to a PB&J.
So fast. Disney will find you. I will find you.
I feel like that's going to be what gets me, is that I'm going to make that VR video, and I'm going to end up at the interview and be like, listen, you've applied to the position 407 times now. You're not getting it because of this video, and they're just going to hit play on the projector. And
like, roll video.
Mickey at a courtroom be like, I didn't beat her up that hard. It wasn't like I used a closed fist, Goofy.
I can't believe you.
No, I think my favorite one, third F-bomb. That's now a rated R stream.
That's all right, we're fine.
The lawyer looks at the paperwork. It's like, Mickey, it says here you want to divorce Minnie because she's extremely silly. It's like, that's not what I said. I said she was fucking goofy. Yeah, Ace is the one who came up with the court idea for Mickey. I just was, Mickey was just doing some absurd things to Donald Duck on the call, and then Ace is like,
I feel like you missed your calling. You should have been on the team for Robot Chicken. When that was
dude. You know what? I don't think that isn't too far-fetched, because one of my favorite YouTubers growing up, because I love Lego stop motion. Love that stuff. It needs to make a comeback. More of you need to make it. Please, God. I'd like to do it. That's the whole plan for this corner. Those printers, I'm going to take apart, pack them up. We'll bust them open when we get electricity in the shed again. But this whole corner is going to be Lego. And the table that's behind this bookshelf that you cannot see right now is going to be my stop motion area. Because I want to do storytime videos, like talking about my first trip to Star Wars Celebration in 2022. But I'm going to animate Lego stop motion over the voiceover. So I'm going to recreate moments in Lego and do all that stuff. And I'd like to do something not too dissimilar for Mando and Chief. Like, I'd like to pick that back up some way, shape, or form. I want to do a second one, but I want to get back into Lego so bad.
Nice.
But the guy, Forest Fire 101, that's what he did as a kid. I think we're roughly the same age, and so I would watch his Lego Indiana Jones and Batman movie. That was hilarious. I still find it funny to this day. But he had a very crude sense of humor. But he got so good at the stop motion. Like when you see his newer stuff, it's insane. But he actually got to collaborate on Robot Chicken. He actually had a hand in some of the episodes, and so he got to do stop motion for them. And it's on his channel, and it's super freaking awesome that it's like some kid playing with Legos when he was 9 now ends up on Robot Chicken because he just kept enjoying doing that. So
It's pretty cool.
yeah, it's I might end up on Robot Chicken. I might take over
Just
the
start
George
your own-
Lucas.
your
I
own
might.
version.
They might have me be like, listen, dude, go learn how to do the George Lucas voice, and you get to do the George Lucas parodies. And I'll be like, yes, let's do it. But it's also really funny because Seth Green's great friends with George Lucas. Like, George Lucas finds Robot Chicken hilarious, and so Seth Green got to voice characters in the Clone Wars. He's the little bot that follows around Cad Bane.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yep. And then just about everybody from the original Star Wars cast has made it onto Robot Chicken to reprise their roles. Like Billy D. Williams comes, like there's a shot with Lando next to Boba Fett, and Billy D. Williams looks at Boba Fett and he's like, "Cool ship. Not a fan of the name though, because it's called Slave One."
No.
It's hilarious. And then Robot Chicken moments have actually ended up in the latest Lego Star Wars game, the Skywalker Saga. On top of, I think, even the latest, the holiday special, the Lego Star Wars holiday special, when Palpatine is like, you know what, I have been a really bad guy. That's literally a reference to the same bit because he's falling for so long and calls people as he's falling to, like, you know, apologize to how he's treated them. He's like, you know what, new me! And then he hits the thing and, you know,
Oh, no.
disappears until the next, you know, the end of the next trilogy.
Somehow, Palpatine returned.
But hey, I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. I have exactly 2 hours before I have to go do my second job, and I'm gonna be so tired.
It was
Like,
fun.
Part of me hopes it's another 2 a.m. shift so I can make an extra $10 in cash. But boy, did I spend it.
Make sure you get some rest. If we do another Pokemon chat, I got a different beanie I can wear next time.
We definitely will, because I definitely want to.
Either Charmander or Bulbasaur. I have a Squirtle somewhere.
Play-Doh Squag.
This is the one with ears, though. No, I think Bulbasaur has ears.
That's the fun one with Pokemon is I get to voice act so many of the Pokemon, and then put fun sound effects. Like I have a very fun sound effect for Sky because he's a big Godzilla fan, and since that's what Tyranitar is based off of, when he roars, I'm literally gonna put in the Godzilla sound.
Like that.
Yeah, I did the Piplup. Yeah, I did all the Pokemon of the original one. So like when my character goes, "Meh," that's me. All of the different Piplup. Like I had to record 5, 6 different Piplup lines for all of the Piplup. Yeah. Although Torterra, I had to do a lot of audio mixing. I couldn't get deep. I think like what Pokemon I really, really, really want to do. Like voice wise. Have you seen the clips of like the French dub of Pokemon?
No.
Yeah, Plusle just sounds like Jerry from Tom and Jerry. He goes, pussy, 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 pussy. And then, a better way of saying this, and this is going to get clipped out of context for the rest of my life, but Malamar sounds so gay.
Oh, no.
Like, in, like, the Malamar! And, like, it was I laughed so hard. I was like,
flamboyant.
it made the weirdest noise. Flamboyant, there you go. That was a better way to explain, to say it. I don't know why that wasn't the first word to come through my mind. I guess I'm homophobic.
I mean, you didn't really say it was like bad or good. He just
I didn't. Yeah, I was just like, I'm like, you know, the stereotype. That's what it sounds like. I'm like, that's Not that I agree with it. It's just that's just what the stereotype is. Like I'm making fun of the stereotype, guys. I don't actually hate gay people. I'm gonna have to put a disclaimer on the Eric Cartman one.
You better
on the Eric Cartman VR video. That's gonna have to have a disclaimer. Because what does he say in South Park? What does he call everyone?
The F slur?
No, a Jew.
Oh no, I was like, I don't know. I don't watch enough South Park.
It's gonna be so bad. It's gonna be that. That one I might get hired on to replace the Eric Cartman voice actor for South Park after that video. Maybe either that or make a camp.
I could see it.
But you know what? I like the South Park guys because I just recently saw a commercial where they're like, hey, if you make a donation of X amount of dollars to this cause, we will literally get you on the phone and put you in South Park. Like, we will design a character that looks like you and put it in crowds and scenes in South Park for the rest of time. And I'm like, that's dope. I love that. Like, the fact that they're like, hey, we're gonna, like, you will just be an asset that will, anytime we need an extra person to fill in a crowd, and it's like, we've seen that same face 6 times already, we're gonna pull your little asset in there, and you're gonna be in following season. Like, I just think that's
funny.
cool. That's, yeah.
I like that.
Anyway, if you haven't already and you've made it to this part of the video, like and subscribe, because you've been here for at least 2 hours, so you have to like something. He'll come after you, Pikachu beanie and all, with an axe. Like, you think the Shia LaBeouf song was about Shia LaBeouf? No, it was about Dominic. It's Dominic. Sharpening an axe.
That's lighting and magic. Hire me, Island.
Consider supporting us on Patreon, so that way I don't have to work 2 jobs and use this one as a third to make content. This is a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing it. It's a great time.
Do it.
Do you have any official social medias, Dom, where you post your music and stuff, or is it just like
no? So we're getting for the music. We're getting the social media going. Keep an eye out for
yet.
at third gear at some point. Otherwise, you can find my Pokemon stuff at Asleep and Critique. Find me. I open Pokemon cards
on Instagram.
I play Pokemon games. 3-0 at the last pre-release. Let's go.
Ace has a bunch of packs for us to open. That's the thing we do now. I got her in Star Wars Unlimited. Dude, I gotta go. Anyway, no. I got it in the stream. We'll talk more later.
That's
we'll save it for the next one. But yeah, like and subscribe. Go watch our other videos on all 3 channels. I want to see what everyone gravitates towards. And then leave a comment about what you liked, because that helps me know what to do sequels of, or at least kind of, gives me a direction and, gives me an idea of like, oh, this is something people really, really liked. Let's find out what they liked and put it in the next one. Anyway, hope you guys all have a great weekend. Hopefully you guys will be in, what did I say, Kerman?
I'll be in Paso Robles. I'm going to a birthday thing for my buddy Bart. Sarah will definitely be there.
Sarah will be there. So the Kerman Community Center next Saturday, 10 to 4. I will be there with a booth talking about 3D printing and costumes. And so you won't get a status report next week because I will be on the road coming home to be able to do more film work. So we'll see you guys later. Have a good night, everybody.